All right, today we're going to do the last skill on here, which is solving word problems that will involve two variable equations. All right, so it says that this equation shows how the total number of necklaces Natalie owns is related to the amount of money she spends on additional necklaces. N equals D plus 18. Um, the variable D represents the amount of money she spends on additional necklaces, and then the variable N represents the total number of necklaces she owns. So with $2 to spend on new necklaces, how many total necklaces can she own? So basically, I feel like this is very similar to the other one. We know that she spends $2 on the new necklaces, right? So we need to figure out $2. Is that going to be N or D? N is the total number of necklaces that she owns. So that's not what we're talking about. D represents the amount of money she spends on additional necklaces. So we know that D equals 2. If that's the case, you just plug it in, all right, into the equation. So then now we have N equals 2 plus 18. And then we just solve for N. 2 plus 18 is 20, so N equals 20. That means she now has a total number of 20 necklaces. So this is very similar to what we were just doing earlier. But earlier we were relating mainly time and money, it seemed like. This time we're relating it to a different kind of story problem. All right, again, we're given this formula, C equals G plus 15. All right, and we are talking about Rudy's retirement party. The cost of it will depend on the amount of guests. G represents the number of guests, and then C represents the cost in dollars. So it says if there are 3 guests, how much will the party cost? So we are going to do G equals 3, and then basically plug it in. C equals G is 3, so I'm just going to use 3 instead of G now. So C equals 3 plus 15, and that equals 18. 3 plus 15 is 18. So let's put it in here. Plug it in, submit, good. Let's do one more problem. We have H equals 4T. This equation shows how the length of Oscar's hair depends on the number of years since his last haircut. So the variable T represents the number of years, and then H represents his hair length. All right, and then T is number of years. What I like to do is I actually like to underline the information so I can just go back and look at it real fast. All right, so we have 3. He cut his hair 3 years ago. So how long is it now? So I know that. Let me erase this right here. I know that we're talking about years. All right. Does T or H talk about years? Well, it looks like T talks about years, right? So I'm gonna replace T with 3 in the formula so that I can figure out what H equals. So 4 times 3 equals 12. So I know that his hair is probably 12 centimeters long. Yep, and that is that.